broken values built over a lifetime. Every principle was sweet to the mind, and every performance was leisurely to the hand. It appeared as good fruit to intake, but years down the crooked road, the nutrients were revealed as fake. Blindsided by a harsh reality, what once was as honey is now as a grapefruit pulled too early before the harvest. It justly disrupts the heart, because every value once planted in fertile soil now reaps seeds of turmoil in the mind. Do not be fooled. The mind and the heart are tightly woven. If not, then no such war between reason and emotion would arise. And as the weapons are drawn, the host of both will compromise. Values of a tangible realm can so easily win. Logic is strong and reason compels sin. Emotions are futile and drown its prey in pity. Without the spirit to prune and uproot, most often complacency forms the treaty. Values of the world were as clear as a crystal vase housing a rose. In the midst of failure, each petal wilts slowly. Only thorns decorate the transparent compartment. You see, the trouble with certain beauty is that it always meets its folly. And with a soft push of confusion, the vase is quite easily broken. Left in the barren fields of the mind and heart, the gardener awaits. But only the keeper of the garden can open the gates to let him in. Most often, observation and acquisition of helpful information penetrates the garden by the keeper's willful omission of broken truth. For the gardener, there is no admission into the garden. He cannot prune or uproot each shallow value once planted in fertile soil, now dry and cracked from dances with confusion and disappointment and turmoil. So the keeper instead compromises for scheduled appointments. Prune the thorns of my heart on the Sabbath day, when the harvest is dry and when I pray. But all other moments, gardener, out of the gates you must stay. With cautious strides, an arrangement is made. I've been convinced too many times, says the keeper, that some teachings were right, but I've since then observed I've lost my adolescence. I can handle this plight. The keeper was naive, for no desire of true discipline existed. Rather, a convenient fix to the garden was what the keeper was after. For worldly values promptly express that a harvest only requires the keeper of the garden to believe in anything, as long as it is something. So the keeper believed in many different somethings, each venture a step closer to a barren desert wind. Weeds grow faster than vines. A small, deceitful bloom captures the eye, and the justification of the manifestation of something outwardly beautiful compels the keeper to ignore how dry the grounds have become. Weeds bear no fruit like vines, but the garden appears to be full. A veil is over the keeper's heart and mind, for the succubus of life in the garden has rendered the keeper blind. Different values, plucked from a new tree this time. Again, a sweet taste envelops the keeper. Again, a new, fragile hope will arise. As the night settles in, truth is hidden. These new, sour values resemble those from the past. It is a rose in a crystal vase, simply known by a different name. It is a thorn left as decoration. It is a shatter of confusion turned into utter desperation. The ground of the keeper's garden is cracked, brittle, and infertile. All the while, watching behind the gate stood the gardener. For his allotted entry he graciously awaits. No more sweet fruit hung from the trees, not even a bitter bloom, not even the weeds laid harvest in the garden. Values were devalued and revalued and rendered barren again. Knowledge and observation alone could not turn into motivation for the keeper to uproot the leeches from the grounds. Tangible values were the first sown seeds, but they caused strife between the heart and the mind. Once tested and rendered weak, the host is overburdened with confusion. You see, weeds kill. They are thieves and harbingers of destruction. They deceive with the startling sprout in a flower of white. They conquer the confused garden and make way for a drought. On the verge of starvation, the host of the heart and mind, the one who keeps the garden, reaches a point of desperation. The keeper throws out the scheduled appointments, abandons the knowledge and observation, and with a tired stride to the gates of the garden, the keeper kneels and releases a cry of need. The keeper throws the key, paired to a rusted lock, to the gardener, and pleads for him to finally enter. Without hesitation, no key was needed. A word was spoken, and the chains of the gate were broken, and every weed was demolished, the splintered ground saturated with life. New seeds were fashioned and sown. A plentiful harvest of wisdom and peace broke with the dawn. For all things were made new by the gardener's touch. The Spirit befriended the host's mind and heart. Clarity of tangible and heavenly values, now so easily set apart. Rejuvenation of the keeper's garden was a certainty. Still, many lessons lingered in the future. Weeds would return, and the keeper would need discipline to faithfully uproot them. Sweet fruit would turn sour, and the keeper would need the gardener's guidance to resist them. The heart and the mind would return to battle, and the host would need the Spirit to unite them. You see, vines take a long time to manifest a harvest. They require constant tending to. And when branches bear little to no fruit, vines must be properly pruned. As the gardener walked through the rejuvenated land, many lessons were taught to the keeper. No ill-fitting task met the keeper's hands. Those were left to the gardener. Some harvests rendered tired and brittle bones, and weeds returned, and the ground beckoned for a plow. But the gardener would never leave the keeper alone to tend to the vines or plow the ground or pull the weeds. For calloused hands and beaten knees outfitted the keeper and the gardener alike. And it was with disciplined hands and tested knees that they worked the garden day and night. Until one day, one moment in time, all the lessons learned and time spent with the gardener became effortless work, a graceful paradigm. The keeper gripped tightly to the straightened plow, faithfully in all the days until heavenly light reigned over the plot, of which forever captivated the keeper in the gardener's heart.